Blessed day to each and every one of you. Greetings in the name of the Father, the Son, and of course the Holy Spirit. I just want to touch on this thing called HIV/AIDS and, put a little education to it or inform someone who may be misinformed about it, because this thing went viral, basically, say, in the early 80s to the mid 80s. It started to go rampant around the whole entire United States. But it actually started long before then. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the back in the 1920s. And it kind of originated from monkeys, right, or chimpanzees back in Africa or whatever. And you used to have, the guys, they go out there and they hunt. They used to, they eat monkey. So the hunters will go out there and either get injured somehow and come in some type of contact with the monkey, whether it be getting bit or it be even as far as injuring themselves. They have a cut on their hand or something like that, and they, because they're hunters. And in the process of chopping the monkey and dealing with the, chopping it up and stuff like that, the blood eventually gets into them, and by also eating the infected monkey. And it could have also been the women, because women also used to take care of the food and stuff like that. So that's how they say it originated from. And there's a lot of other things that happened from it, of how it really got, to spread so rapid. I'm not really going to touch that topic. I'm actually going to save that one for another time. But just to shed a little light on it briefly, there was a doctor named Robert Gallo, and he basically injected a couple of humans with it, and it began to spread even more like that. Now, this thing called HIV is a monster, and it's a genius. It's a very smart, and it can trick the body into doing and thinking lots of things. For any of you who may be in the medical field and know anything about the human body and the cells of the human body is made up of many different cells. The two basic type of cells that make up the human body are the red blood cells and the white blood cells. Now, the red blood cells, they are there for your oxygen. They help your oxygen and all of that. The white blood cells, those are the white blood cells that fight off all type of infectious bacteria. Those are your soldier cells per se. So they fight off all sicknesses and stuff like that. When the body, well, let me back up a little bit. Sorry, I didn't rehearse or anything like that. So please, just bear with me. And again, I'm a little nervous about doing this because I want to get the right message across the right way, and it's hard. So the human body is supposed to have an average of between 500 and 1,200 white blood cells. Again, white blood cells are the blood cells that fight off bacteria. Now, when HIV enters into the body, the first place that it goes is into the stomach. It hides inside your intestines, and it builds up. As it's building up, I wish I had some type of dialogue or something that I could show you, some type of animation, something that I could show you. But the virus builds up inside the stomach, and it starts to go out into your body. As it goes out into your body, it attacks specifically the white blood cells. It does not touch the red blood cells. It only attacks the white blood cells because that's what it was designed to do. That's what it does. So it attacks the white blood cells. When it latches on to the white blood cell, it embeds itself inside of the white blood cell. So the body that is producing these white blood cells, when they see that white blood cell, it gets confused and thinks that it's a healthy cell, when in all actuality, it's really a sick cell. The virus, the AIDS virus, is inside that white blood cell, maturing and growing. When it reaches to a certain point, it actually destroys that white blood cell completely and goes on to another cell and other cells and other cells. HIV, it replicates itself. It reproduces itself, but it can only do that with good cells, and that's why it attacks specifically the white blood cells. Also, because it's designed to kill. As the virus attacks these soldier cells and kill them off, eventually over time, you start to get sick. When someone, the most common sign for someone that is infected, and this may shock you, but it could be as far as a common cold. You may think you have a sore throat or a little flu. A flu-like symptom is very, very similar to you being caught catching AIDS. But just because you have those symptoms does not mean necessarily that you have it. That's why getting tested is very, very, very important. Very important. It's better to know than not to know. I've been tested. How about you? Get tested. Again, I will talk about that too later on, and also in maybe other, videos that I do. This is the first I'm doing, and I'm going to see how it goes. So again, the virus that attacks the white blood cells, and it kills them off, spreading throughout the whole body. Over time, the body starts to break down. The human body is supposed to have between 500 and 1,200 copies of the white blood cells. Once the white blood cells reach a level of 200 or less, they consider that being HIV. It could be other things as well, but once the white blood cells reach 200 or lower, it's considered AIDS. HIV processes into AIDS. So you get the virus, the HIV virus first. HIV is human immune virus. AIDS is autoimmune deficiency syndrome. When the body is infected with the HIV and the levels drop down to 200 or less, again, that's when the body you are considered to have full-blown AIDS. Once you have that, you start to show many more signs. Like losing weight, rashes may come out, certain cancers, body aches, many different things. You know, weight loss is a very popular sign. You start to shrink down. You start to get fevers and this and that. And that is how the virus takes over the body. Once HIV is into the body and it's untreated, that's when it really gets into a dangerous state. Back in the 80s, this thing was new to them, or so they acted. That's what I think. You know, it was new, or they didn't have the technology, whatever, to deal with things. Since then, they've come out with many different medications. But my views on medication or pharmaceutical drugs is I'm not going to touch that either right now. And I'm going to prepare for that one. But I don't think that we should be putting chemicals inside of our body. You know, the Father, Almighty God, He clearly gave us the cure for everything. The human body is designed to cure itself of anything, as long as we take care of it properly, meaning we eat right and we exercise properly and we take care of the body properly. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Everything's going so fast, and I'm trying to concentrate. So if I haven't healed you up or said anything to you, blessed love to you. The same. And I don't really want to get off track by looking at names and calling names either. You know, but blessed love to each and every one of you. We'll log on, and if you're just logging on, I'm asking you to, share this and even go back and watch from the beginning if you missed any. Again, let's get back to it because I'm kind of running off a track here. So the virus, it turns into AIDS once it's untreated, and it begins to kill off the body. HIV can hide dormant inside the body for many years. Again, let's back up a little bit to the part where, let's say you get infected and you start to show those signs of the flu, that flu symptom will last maybe approximately a few weeks, and then it can go away by itself, or it can go away by being treated, by you taking over-the-counter meds or whatever, and then it kind of relaxes. That's when it's there doing its job, killing off the body. So well, I'm telling you, this thing is really a monster. I'm really a genius. From the time it's HIV until the time it reaches AIDS, it's about between an 8 to 10 year process. So that just shows you that, you can live with it for very long, probably longer, and not even know. So again, that's why it is very important to get tested. Get tested regular, especially if you have multiple partners. Even if you're married. even if you're married, it does not matter. Get tested. Talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk to your family about it. Because this, like I said, this thing came out or surfaced years ago. And after a while, it seemed to have kind of died down. But let me tell you something. It ain't going nowhere. It's still here. So once like I was saying, the HIV, for it to process into AIDS, is between an 8 to 10 year process. But each person is different. So that's where this thing can also be tricky. So just because someone may get it, it may not take the full 8 years before signs start to show. What I mean by that is, let's say let's say you have Jonathan, you have Greg, and you have Sally. Jonathan and Greg both had sex with Sally. Sally was infected, is the infected party. Now, whether the two guys knew about it or not, or knew about each other or not, it doesn't matter. It could have been different times, but let's go on the same day. Because some people are like that. They have sex with multiple people same day. Not wise. Anyway, so the two guys, they have sex with Sally. Now, the first guy, he takes care of his body from a long time. He eats proper. He exercises a lot. He takes care of his body. While the other guy does not. He eats junk food. He smokes. He drinks. He doesn't exercise. Stuff like that. So his body is not as healthy as the other one. Let's say the first guy has 800 white blood cells, and the other guy has 600 white blood cells. They're still pretty much healthy, right? Only difference, one is higher than the other. So now when they both come in contact with the HIV virus, the one who has the less white blood cells, obviously his white blood cells are going to die off quicker than the other guy who has more white blood cells. So the guy with the less white blood cells can start to show signs within weeks to months, when the other guy, he doesn't show signs at all. But yet they both are infected. So that is how the HIV, it kills off the body. There are many different beliefs or myths on how you get it and this and that. I'm going to tell you a few of them. First of all, you cannot catch HIV or AIDS from anyone by touching them, meaning shaking your hand, hugging them, dancing with them, or playing with them, or anything like that. You cannot get it from a toilet seat. You cannot get it from sharing bathrooms or showers. You cannot get it from sharing clothes. You can get it from kissing if both parties have open cuts in their mouths or sores in their mouths. Then that's where it gets to it. Or deep kissing, deep tongue kissing. So that is how you can get it. You can get it. You cannot by kissing. That is how you can get it. Oral sex. It's not common, but it can happen. So it's about a 2% chance of it happening. But the way that happens is it's usually the person doing the oral. Now, let's say Because you have a lot of different type of people out there. Some are bisexual, some are straight, and some are I don't want to offend anyone, but homosexuals, right? They let's talk about that now. For two guys to be having that type of relations, it's usually the bottom. When I say bottom, I mean the guy doing the oral to the guy. That if the guy who is receiving is infected, he can pass it to the guy doing it if he ejaculates in his mouth. Or again, if there are sores or cuts in his mouth and you know the liquids from all of that combined, and that's how you get it. But if the guy who is doing it has it, it's a lesser chance of him giving it to the guy that is receiving it. I don't know if that makes any sense. The same thing with with two women, or the same thing with a guy and a female. It's usually the receiver who ends up getting, other than giving. I don't even know where else to go with this, and I don't know how much info I've actually been able to give you all. But I'm gonna try to keep on, doing this and shedding a little bit of light again, as I said, on HIV/AIDS, because it's a serious thing, and it is still going around in this world today. All over the world. This thing is all over the world. And it's not just someone who is having sex who can catch it. You know, the unborn baby inside the mom can catch it. The baby sucking on the breast can catch it. You know, there are so many different ways. You don't have to be homosexual to get it. You don't have to share needles to get it. You don't have to be killing monkeys and eating monkeys and all of that as the hunters were doing back then to get it. There are many different ways that you can get it. And just by looking at someone, you cannot tell that they have it. There's no way to look at someone or to even look at yourself and say you have it. Now, if you are aware with some of the symptoms, you can find out certain things and know and say, okay, maybe this might be, and maybe it might not be. That's where you go and get it checked and stuff like that. So again, this HIV/AIDS is a very serious thing. It's still out there. It's still prevalent. There's also another disease called lupus. Lupus is very similar to HIV. Very similar, but it's not the same. Again, and another thing, don't just. I'm telling you what I've learned from my research and from my looking up and from my experience. So don't just take my word for what I'm telling you. Look into it. Research. Do your research. You know, every minute we're down in our phone and we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram and this and that, and take a few minutes to pick up a book, or while you have your phone in your hand, go to Google and wherever you have to go and do some research, and don't just take it from me. You know for yourself. And again, getting tested is the best thing that you can do, because it's prevention, again, is better than cure. You know, it is better to know than not to know, especially to find out when it's too late. You know, Again, your diet has a lot to do with you either maintaining or actually curing AIDS. But again, this is just the first time I'm doing this, and I don't want to bunch up everything in one. I feel like I want to do this again, with the help of the Almighty God. So I'm asking each and every one of you again to just please get tested. Get tested often. Do what you have to do to know. People infected with HIV/AIDS in Belfast Wales have been saved. And also they have has come close to the end. I'm alone and I ain't got no more friends. Virus in my veins. So why they all up in a life full of shame. Oh me, oh my, I can't take the pain. I only got myself to blame. My business really good. Oh, I am. Don't you abandon me. This heart is saying enough already. Why not? We're going to be talking about can you get can you get HIV through oral pleasures on a man or on a woman? Can you get it? That's a tricky question, and that's why I wanted to do this live. That way I can interact with you guys instead of like a video, if you get what I'm saying. So give me a second here. Try this thing. No. Give me a second, guys. Like I said, I'm rusty. I'm rusty. All right. So you may see me looking down, and that's because I'm looking here at my notes. And as you can see, it's a lot. It's a lot of notes. And I have the notes because I don't want to miss out any information. And I want this to get across as effective as possible. You know, you can feel free. You can feel free to ask me, questions about my story, my situation. But if you do that, I'm asking you to please wait until after this presentation, and then we go into that, because I don't want to get distracted and run off without getting this information to you, and you. All right? So again, manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you. So the topic is, can you get HIV/AIDS through oral pleasures? First, let's look at the keywords. Okay? HIV is one keyword. Let's look at, words are powerful, just like the tongue. Words are powerful and words have meaning. So let's look at the definition of these keywords before, so that you can have an understanding of, this thing. Some of you may have an understanding of it already, and if you do, I'm asking you to please just bear with me so I can tell others. HIV. What is HIV? HIV is human immune virus. It's a virus that attacks the immune system. It was designed to attack the immune system, the human body's immune system. There are animals who have certain strains that are basically the same thing as AIDS, but they're called different things. But again, that's straying off of the topic. You guys can see that I actually did do a video on that, I think a few years ago, but it's somewhere in my thing there. You can go check it out. Trying to stick to the topic. I don't know what you may call that syndrome that I probably do have, because I tend to can't stay focused on one thing. I'm all over the place. Probably get it from my good friend and / teacher, Brother Gary. If you guys don't have him, you guys go check him out. That's the Bro Gary Radio Show. Yeah, you check him out for 30 days. Your life will never be the same. Tell you, radio unusual. Anyways, HIV is human immune virus, and it attacks your white blood cells. It kills off your white blood cells.
The mods have not come in as yet. WTF. With the family, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. But if you give me 1 second, give me 1 second. Yes, there is a mod in the house. Yes, there is a mod in the house. Tara J Blogs.
AIDS is shortened for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This is when the body is no longer able to fight off infectious diseases or illnesses and stuff like that. But
Greetings,
being HIV positive is not the same as being AIDS positive. You can have
those in the background,
HIV and not have AIDS. You can have HIV and not have AIDS, but you cannot have AIDS and not have HIV, if that makes any sense. Again, that's another topic that I will recap on. I did do a video on that. You guys can go check that out. Where are we? So acquired immunodeficiency, the syndrome. That's AIDS, and that's where your body is no longer able to kill off itself. The other key word is oral. What is oral? And it seems like a lot of times when people mention the word oral or this type of topic, they tend to shut their mouth. Kind of ironic, huh? Kind of weird. Anyways, this is a little humor. But oral is using the mouth to do things such as eating, taking meds, dental examinations, abstractions, you take out your teeth or something like that. Or in this case, we're talking about oral pleasures. Let's talk about body fluids, since we just covered the definitions of the keywords. Let's talk about the body fluids that can contain HIV. Blood, including menstrual blood. Why in the world? But anyway, yeah, some people anyway. Menstrual blood, semen, pre-seminal fluids, or in other words, pre-ejaculation, vaginal secretions, breast milk, and amniotic fluids. Those are the fluids that contain the HIV virus. There are no other fluids that contain that. Again, blood, including menstrual blood, semen, pre-seminal fluids, vaginal secretions, breast milk, amniotic milk, and pre-ejaculation. Those are the fluids that contain HIV. The numbers of HIV particles in 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. You guys know what a millimeter is? 1 millimeter. The numbers of HIV particles in 1 millimeter of the body fluids is as follows. Blood contains 18,000 milligrams
milliliters
of the HIV virus.
Milliliters.
Semen contains 11,000 milligrams
milliliters
of the HIV virus.
Not milligrams, milliliters.
Vaginal fluids contain 7 milligrams
milliliters
of HIV. Breast milk and amniotic fluids contain 4,000 milligrams
milliliters
of HIV. Saliva contains 1 milligram. I am not a doctor. I should have said this in the beginning. I am not a doctor. I do not profess to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I feel I would be in trouble if I was a doctor. And I'm going to leave it at that. Saliva contains 1 milliliter of HIV. Now I'm going to try to explain to you how HIV can be transmitted sexually. There are some conditions or requirements for HIV to be transmitted, though. First and foremost, HIV must be present. In other words, HIV must be detectable. When you take a blood test, you have to be able to say you have HIV. And if you are detectable, then detectable, you can easily pass it on. HIV must get inside of the body. And most importantly, HIV must get into your blood. Another way is sexual contact, like vaginal penetration. I hope I don't get in trouble for some of these words. I don't know what words nowadays we can use on this thing. So YouTube, Nightbot, wherever you might be or whatever, I'm just trying to spread health awareness, doing something good. I could care less if I get monetized. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to educate. I was given another chance at life. I feel by doing this, I could possibly give someone else another chance at life. Sexual contact, such as vaginal penetration, meaning the banana to the, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, right? Why in the world? But anal penetration, meaning the banana where it's not supposed to. Whether that be a man or a woman. The anal walls are extremely more thinner than vaginal walls. So it's a high chance to get it like that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about oral. And you can also contract it. And this is where it gets tricky, but orally. The chances are very, very, very slim. Very slim. As I said, 1 milliliter of HIV is in saliva. So the chances are very, very slim, but oral pleasures, meaning mouth to the cookies or mouth to what I call Moby. Now, okay. Unprotected receptive oral pleasures is okay. How could I say this? Unprotected receptive oral pleasures on a man is about 0.01% chance. Chance. It's like 1 in 10,000 of a chance. Each time though. Unprotected insertive oral pleasures, which is man to man, is about 0.005% chance per exposure, which breaks down to be about 1 in every 20,000 chance each time. Each time. Unprotected oral pleasures on a woman. Well,
it's difficult. This is where it's difficult because, as I said, a woman's walls are much thicker, and so the virus is harder, less likely. But that's another topic, and I don't want to confuse you guys. But yes, oral pleasures on a woman is difficult to kind of predict the risk of HIV transmission for either when performing oral pleasures on her or kissing or whatever. Well, I guess that would be considered the oral pleasures down there. It's, how could I say? It's possible to get it through oral, but it's a very low chance. Low chance. Low chance. Let's talk about, or let me try to explain how HIV can be transmitted sexually. As I said, there are certain requirements for HIV to be transmitted. So I'm trying to kind of use my head at the same time from what I know. Even though I do have these notes here, I'm trying to get you guys everything. But again, like I said, I kind of stray off the topic a lot, as you guys could probably see. And greetings, each and every one of you. Blessed greetings. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. I want to thank you all for coming here tonight on health awareness. Tonight we're going to be talking about on who is Dr. Sebi. And, you know, we're just going to touch on that. You know, we're not going to be here too long, you know. Then again, who knows how long we will be here. I'm just letting the Holy Spirit have its way. You know what I mean? So, welcome one and all. Welcome one and all. Yeah? So I'm just going to give it some time and wait till some people come on in here. each and every one of you. Well, we've gone about 15 minutes into it. I'm giving some people some time to come. But you know how most people are. Nobody is really never on time. You know, we don't have to say who really what, you know, or what, you know. But anyway, we'll come off of that. Yeah. So, yeah, this one here is basically about, you know, Dr. Sebi. Just kind of explaining a little bit on, you know, who he is and, you know, a little bit of what he's done, you know. And in my opinion, I would have to say he would be. Matter of fact, we're in the month of February here, and in the United States here, we do it, or they do a thing called, you know, Black History Month. And if I would have to say, sorry, you know, if I would give someone, you know, a tribute, Black History Month, I would give Dr. Sebi a tribute, you know, because he's done a lot, and he's a very, very important source to society and to life. And God rest his soul. But that's who I would give, you know. So I'm just gonna read off a few things, you know, a few quotes from him, and you know, kind of go into a more detail of, you know, who he was. You know, so I want you to just bear with me. Rush Comedy, blessed love, my brother. Blessed love. Yeah, so I just want to go into a few quotes that he has said, things that Dr. Sebi has said, you know, and then I want to go into a little bit more of exactly who he is. So again, you guys just bear with me. If I'm not really catching you in the comment section, please bear with me. I will go back and you don't know what's you know, but I'm kind of trying to focus still and do this thing, you know, make it come out right. So one of the things that Dr. Sebi said was, a society that keeps cures as a secret so they can continue to sell medication for huge profits is not a real society, but a huge mental asylum. He also has said, make one healthy choice every day. Every day, make one healthy choice. Another thing that Dr. Sebi has said is, after I cured my 13th AIDS patient, my mother said, they're going to come and get you. And he has also said, I have cured AIDS, and I have cured diabetes, and I have cured so much more. There is no disease that is incurable, not with chemicals, but with natural, nature, herbs. He has also said, mucus is the cause of every disease. If you eliminate mucus, and you eliminate the disease. Another thing that Dr. Sebi has also said, blessed greetings to the person who just came in, is real soul food is food that enhances the soul. Our central sun or melanin are creating fruits, vegetables, grains, and the real soul food. He also went on to say, it is not always easy to stop eating the many acidic foods we've enjoyed for so long and have become addicted to, but it can be accomplished through cleansing and nourishing and bodies with the foods the Creator has provided. Another famous quote that he said that I like to stick by is that if nature didn't make it, don't eat it. You know, if nature didn't make it, don't eat it. Marie, blessed welcome, blessed welcome. Thank you for coming in. Blessed welcome. So, Dr. Sebi, how should I say? Okay, let's just start from the beginning. You know, Dr. Sebi was born to the name Alfredo Bowman on November 26, 1933, in Honduras. Dr. Sebi came to the United States as a self-educated man who was diagnosed with asthma, diabetes, impotence, and obesity. After unsuccessful treatments with, conventional doctors and traditional Western medicine, Sebi was led to an herbalistic doctor in Mexico. Finding great healing success from all his ailments, he began creating natural vegetation, cell foods, compounds geared for intercellular cleansing and revitalization. Carefully studying herbs in North America, South America, Africa, and the Caribbean, Sebi developed a unique methodology to healing human body with herbs that are firmly rooted in over 30 years of research experience. He rose to cult like fame, pushing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to read this thing here that I have. He rose to cult like fame, pushing a simple dietary premise that food is alkaline for the body and dead food kills the body, natural ability to heal and regenerate. He believed that he believed, I'm sorry, hold on. Yes, I'm sorry. He believed that the alkaline diet can cure any disease, and he created self-food products to treat people. His roster of clients included John Travolta, Steven Seagal, Eddie Murphy, Teddy Pendergrass, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Michael Jackson, and many, many more. Despite these noted celebrities, many people considered Sebi a quack, a weirdo, who was no more a doctor than Dr. Pepper. Nevertheless, Sebi's myth grew stronger in 1987. After the self-taught herbalist ran ads in the Amsterdam News, the Village Voice, and the New York Post newspaper, claiming that he had a cure for AIDS, HIV, diabetes, herpes, paralysis, and several other diseases. This did not go over well with the New York Attorney General Robert Abram, who ordered him to remove this ad. Go figure, huh? Sebi refused and was soon arrested on charges of, practicing medicine without a license, selling products not approved by the FDA, and fraudulently claiming that he had cured AIDS and other diseases. On February 10th, 1987, detectives arrested Dr. Sebi in his New York office. Everybody in his office was crying. Oh, Sebi, Sebi, Sebi. Sebi says, but not him. He was happy. He was happy. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine that scenario? Can you imagine yourself being put in that scenario? And I wonder why they chose to arrest him. But we're gonna go into it, and I'm gonna be reading basically the whole court trial, basically. So just bear with me if I'm kind of, hesitating and stuff like that. My eyesight's not that good anymore, but just bear with me. Bless greetings, Trev. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Come and learn a little something, yeah? Oh. As we were saying, he had claimed and put in the ads that he cured AIDS, diabetes, syphilis, sickle cell, blindness, many more things. Obviously, they came for him, just like his mom said. He says after he cured his 13th AIDS patient, his mom told him, they're going to come for you, So just listen to this quickly and see what, in the comments, you tell me what you think. Brave young lion, blessed greetings. Thanks for coming by. Thank you, Trev, for coming. Thank you. On February 10th, 1987, detectives arrested Dr. Sebi in his New York office. Everyone was crying boo-hoo-hoo, but not Sebi. Sebi was happy. Sebi says, I had a diagnostic sheet for everyone that had cured that with a medical diagnosis from an American doctor from credible American medical schools. I also had written statements from not one, but two independent doctors verifying that patients' diseases no longer existed. No one else had ever made those claims, Sebi said. The man, Robert Abrams, had a right to arrest me, but he was making a big mistake. When I say I'm speaking of as Dr. said, because remember, I'm reading the court thing here. When I went in front of the judge, I asked three questions. Your Honor, is it a fact that the Holy Bible teaches that herbs are the healing of the nation? Let me stop there for a minute. Dr. Sebi, when he went to court, he didn't have a lawyer. Now, this man did not go to school. He didn't read books. He didn't watch TV. He didn't have YouTube and internet and Google, and he didn't do all of those things. And he came up with a cure for just about everything, if not everything. Okay? And on top of that, they come after him, and he doesn't use a lawyer. He uses himself, the Supreme Court, and he doesn't use a lawyer. I'm going to continue. Again, please bear with me. When I went in front of the judge, I asked three questions. Your Honor, is it a fact that the Holy Bible teaches that the herbs are the healing of the nation? The judge replied, yes. Your Honor, is it a fact that science shows that the human body is carbon-based and the complement to the carbon-based body must have a carbon-based substance to complement it, because the body only accepts a substance through chemical affinity? The judge agreed. Your Honor, said Sebi, is it a fact that the so-called father of medicine, Hippocrates cured every disease known to man? The judge answered, yes, affirmative. Did he use herbs or chemicals? She replies, herbs. During the trial, Sebi shocked the court when he asserted there was only one disease, not 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., but one disease. Could you substantiate that? Asked the judge. Why, yes, said Sebi. When someone has sinusitis, what is obstructing the nasal passage? Mucus, replied the judge. And when another has bronchitis, what's obstructing the bronchial tubes? She replied, mucus. And when another has pneumonia, what's covering the walls of the lungs? Mucus, she replied. Just then, the prosecutor jumped up and blurted out, what about AIDS? What about AIDS? You have your one disease theory. What about AIDS? I am the last person, Dr. Sebi replied, boldly, the last person to believe in theory. I do not lend myself to theories or philosophy. Either I know something or I don't. Your Honor, have you ever visited a ward, a AIDS ward? Sorry, one, yes? AIDS patients spit up practically every minute. She replies, mucus. But where is the mucus? It is in the skin, the blood, and the lymphatic system, said Dr. Sebi. Still not convinced, the judge demanded Sebi bring to court one of each patient who could testify that he or she had been cured of these fatal diseases that Dr. Sebi were talking about. Dr. Sebi brought in 77 patients. After hearing the heartfelt testimonies of each and every one of them, the jury found Sebi not guilty. Prior to Sebi's triumphant acquittal, there were 2,781 cases that came before the New York Supreme Court on fraudulent medical claims, all ending with a verdict of guilty. Before Nipsey Hussle ultimately, passed away, he announced he was working on a documentary film, about the alternative health guru, as they say, Dr. Sebi. On May 28th, 2016, Dr. Sebi was arrested in Honduras for carrying $37,000 in cash. He was released pending a court hearing, only to be rearrested on June 3rd by Honduras authorities and charged with money laundering. Sebi remained in custody until August 6th, when he was rushed to a local hospital, reportedly suffering from complications of pneumonia. He died en route. Sebi was 82 years old. Strange. And there are a lot of myths on how he died. How could a man who cured so many people of so many things die of pneumonia? Well, he was arrested. So he wasn't able to eat the foods that he would normally eat. And because he refused to eat those foods, he kind of starved himself. But don't just take it from me. Do your own research, and you will see that what I say is not a lie. Let me continue. Today, many believe that Dr. Sebi was a threat to the multi-billion-dollar medical industry. They believe Sebi's death was not an accident, that his arrest and eventual death stemmed from the fact that his career was his theory was correct. He would have bankrupted the medical community. They claim there is no money in cures, but there's money in sickness. And I always said, this is me, Servant David, saying, I always say, we always go to the doctor when we, feeling sick or we can't take it anymore, this and that and that. And we go to the doctor with the intent of getting well. So we go to the doctor to get well. But a lot of us forget that we go to the doctor to get well, but the doctor sees us to get wealthy. I'm just saying, though, Anywho, much of what Dr. CB exposed about health and diet has been echoed by the American Heart Association and other credible medical groups who've urged Americans to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, less meats, sugars, and starches, and less processed foods. But then I say they turn around and they mess with the foods that they give us. So I don't know. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What have you heard of Dr. Sebi? If you've heard anything about him in the comments? What have you guys heard about Dr. Sebi? Me? Let me go check out this comment here. What's going on here? Know about Dr. Sebi? What are some things you guys may know?
Bless, greetings. I want to thank you for coming. Yeah,
man, why, Brave Lion? Why? What made you say that I'm a pastor? Determined, God bless, welcome. Thanks for coming, sweetheart. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And thank you for mentioning him. You guys, please, I urge you to go and check out the Brother Gary radio show. Very, very, very interesting, fun, and real show. It's radio unusual, I call it. But you can check him out at the BRO Gary Bulgari Radio Show on YouTube. You gotta check him out. I promise you, you listen, Brother Gary, for 30 days and you never listen nothing else but that. Trust me. Trust me. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys know of Dr. Sebi or don't know? You know, or you have any questions about him? You know, some people will say his meds are a myth, fake.
Bless greetings, Shadeen. Bless greetings. I want to thank you for coming, yeah? Thank
All
you.
those things like that. And I can personally say that's false. His products definitely do work. I have gotten a compound from them, and it worked for me. So I'm not giving all of the credit to that though, because most of that credit goes to God. You know, but this LS here is not, this live stream here is not, you know, about me, my story or anything like that. Most of you already know it, and it's not about that. This is about who is Dr. Sebi. And once again, you guys can catch me here. Like, okay, I have a little schedule that I have, you know, how can I say this? Every Wednesday there's health awareness. Every Tuesdays there's comment. Nah, I'm sorry. My mind is all over the place. Give me 1 second and I get it right for you. You see the Music Monday, Games on More Tuesday, Health Awareness Wednesday, Comedy Thursday, and Elevation Friday.
And just to let you know that tomorrow I will be doing another live. That live is a contest. And the contest is going to be called, How Well Do You Know Servant David? In just a short moment, I'm going to play a few of the answers that will be for that contest. And I promise you, you don't want to miss out. Cash prize. Ask anybody, they can tell you I am a man of my word. So in just a few moments, I'm going to play some of that, and then hopefully you guys can come over later on. Yeah?
Here's a little commercial type to explain more.
Servant David said, love, manners, and elevation.
Well, bless greetings each and every one of you. Mama PTV, I want to thank you for coming in, yeah? I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. And this is Servant David on Storytime Sunday. And today is getting to know Servant David. And you're going to hear a few with morals. Some good stuff, yeah? And I'm also doing this getting to know Servant David because I'm doing a contest coming up this Tuesday. Today, not this tomorrow. Tuesday, I will be doing a contest. Tomorrow. And it will be called, How Well Do You Know Servant David? Yeah? So you can get a lot of answers in this LS if you're paying attention. I will be asking you guys questions about me, and the one that has the most points will win first place. The one underneath them will win second place. This is tomorrow. And then there's a third place prize. This is tomorrow. If there happens to be a tie, I will take the people who tie and ask questions about me. And the ones who get more than the others, that's who will be above the rest. If you understand what I'm saying. So you guys sit back, kick back, and enjoy the show. Yeah, again, this is Getting to Know Servant David on Storytime Sunday. And I want you guys to listen very, 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 very keenly. Very keenly. Because most of the answers are in this LS right here. Most of the answers are in this LS. Just give me 1 second and I'll be right with you. Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere, please. gonna run it about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll see how it goes. You know? But this here is some good information that you might really, really want to go come and get. So get your pen, your paper, and all those things that you need to get. And here is some good information that you might really, really want to go come and get. So get your pen, your paper, and all those things that you need to get. And here is called part 9 of the, you know, each and every one. Servant David. Yeah. Right? This one here is called part 9 of getting to know Servant David.
So for those of you who know or who have been following me, there's parts to the Q's and A's that I do, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc. So this year is part 9. But if this may be the first one you've seen, you ask me questions in this one here, and I answer the questions in part 10. So these questions I have games, and I call it Games on More Tuesday. So this Tuesday I will be doing a game, and there will be first place, second place, and third place. You can find those answers in this LS right here. Cash prize, no joke. Ask anybody that know me, I am a man of my word. But I don't want to go into too much detail and stuff like that. I gotta find a way to do it smart. But it's well worth the entry. Enter the contest. You will win. Everyone.
of the answers will be,
Best greetings, each and every one.
will be in this one here. Get your paper and get your pen.
You would ask questions that you want to know about me here in this video, and in the following video, I answer those questions. So these questions were actually asked from the previous video from this. So again, this is getting to know me. I'm going to do it a little bit different today. I'm going to have a little help, and someone is going to be basically asking me questions that you guys have asked me. Thank you.
How old are you?
I am 48 years old.
Where was you born?
Hartford, Connecticut, in the USA.
What is your deepest regret in life?
My deepest regret in life? I don't have any regrets, because I've learned that whatever has happened to me in my life is part of who I am. So I don't have any regrets.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do. I have a half-white brother. He lives in England. I have a younger brother who just passed away back in November of last year, and I have an older sister.
Are you close with them?
No, I'm not too close with my sister. I'm pretty close with my half brother. My younger brother, I was really close. We were like peas in a pot. But obviously he's down now. I mean, I'm still with him. He's still with me. You know.
What inspired you to do YouTube?
Yeah, Japan inspired me to do YouTube is, let me back up.
This will definitely be in there.
When I first started using YouTube, I was just using it as a storage type of place. Like, I love to always be videoing something for myself. And my phone would run out of, storage. So just so that I'd be able to watch it again, I opened up a YouTube channel and started putting it on there. But it wasn't until a few years after that when I was diagnosed with skin cancer, lung cancer, and full-blown AIDS. And that kind of inspired me to tell my story, because my story could possibly help someone overcome their issues. A lot of times, we all go through issues, we all go through problems, and at those times, we feel like our problems are the worst problems in the world. And we forget that there's someone else out there who has it way worse than what we have. So if they can get through what they're going through, we can get through whatever we are facing, especially.
What's your favorite color?
Favorite color is blue. Any shade of blue.
What's your favorite holiday?
I don't celebrate holidays, so I don't have a favorite holiday. To me, holidays are pagan, so I don't indulge in them. I don't celebrate them. Birthdays, I celebrate. Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter. I don't indulge in them.
So being a father, you don't celebrate Father's Day?
No, I wouldn't really say no, I don't celebrate it. Those days are every day, just like Mother's Day. Mother's Day is an everyday thing. I understand that they choose a day to recognize it, but to me, I can't even say to me. You guys will just have to do your research to figure out or to understand why I say the things that I say. I don't force anyone to do anything. I don't force any info on anyone. I'll shed light, but yeah, those days are man-made type days, and there are other hidden agendas behind it. They make it seem like, oh yes, it's about Christmas. Yes, it's about, well, Christmas is supposed to be about Christ. Supposed to be. Not some guy in a red suit. You know, they make it seem like Mother's Day is this great day, which it is a great day because it's great to be a mother. But they don't tell you the hidden things behind it of why they celebrate it. And anything that becomes basically a tradition becomes big.
So do you think Mother's Day and Father's Day is equal, or Mother's Day superior to Father's Day?
If I had to choose, I would say they're equal.
Each and every one of you, well, this is Servant David. And if you're looking for health awareness, elevation, games, stories, songs, comedy, and more, then come check me out. Servant David Show. Happy man and woman, them know. Content with your channels that grow. Stop right just so we all the info. You hear the name in the intro. This is Servant David Show. So comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And don't forget to cheer me out. Yeah, Servant David say love, manners, and elevation. Comfort.